The title of this poem is Think I Am I, composed by me, Webster Alston, originally composed on November 6, 2015. Today's date is November 6, 2024. The pretext is Romans chapter 12, verses 1 through 3.
Jesus is
the Apostle Paul urged, as he wrote,
my life, my
a somber
joy,
directive.
my all.
Here is a written
He
quote.
is my strength.
Present your
From
bodies
day to
as a
day.
living and holy
Without
sacrifice to
him
God,
I would fall.
which is an abstract
When
thought
I am sad,
that is
to
peculiarly
him
I.
go. No other
Sacrifice
one
means
can
to offer
hear
one's life
me
in
say,
homage to a deity.
when I am sad,
But
he makes me glad.
what is the operation of godly
He's
sacrifice
my
in
friend.
social reality?
Jesus is all
Deity
the
is a
world
lofty
to me,
concept
and true
that is
to
determined
him
by
I'll
subjectivity.
be. Oh, how
It is
could
coalescing
I
of
this
intuitive
friend
thoughts
deny
of reason,
when he's
perceptivity.
so true to me?
However, the fundamental
Following
element
him,
of
I
thought
know
is
I'm
truth
right.
and
He
reality.
watches over
Truth
day
sustains,
and night.
endures,
Following
and
him
builds up
by
in
day
contrast
and
to
night.
fantasy.
He's
Therefore,
my
wisdom,
friend.
knowledge,
Jesus
and understanding
is
are
all
imperatives
the world to
for
me.
sound reasoning
I
of
want
facts,
no
of
better
spiritual and
friend.
physical
I
superlatives.
trust him now. I trust
Physical
him
facts
when
are more
life
easily
fleeting
determined
days
by
shall end.
trial, error,
Beautiful life
and
with
consequences
such a friend.
than spiritual facts,
Beautiful life
which are not
that
easily
has no
determined.
end.
Hence,
Eternal life,
some people call them
eternal
nonsense.
joy. He's
Yet, it is
my
factual that
friend.
life is a spiritual force that moves the
I'm
physical
not
along
here
timeline
to
course
understand
from the beginning of life to the end.
what God has
Life
willed,
is a
what
contest
God has
and a
planned.
quest to win. But in every contest
I only
and in
know
every
at his
quest
right hand
for victory, every contender must perform
stands
its
the
best.
one who is
Therefore,
my Savior.
devotion and training are the cost
I
or
take
price
him at his
to develop
word and
mind,
deed.
body, and spirit. It must sacrifice
Christ died to save me.
Yes.
This I read.
time, and mental and physical energies are lost.
And
in the quest
my
for a
heart
goal
I
or
find
objective.
a need
They are the cause.
of him
Life is the
to
preeminent
be
goal
my
or objective,
Savior,
but the value of life is always
that he
subjective.
would leave his place
Therefore,
on high
if the value of life is only for physical pleasure,
and come for
then
sinful
physical
man
objective
to
for
die.
power is the heart's embedded treasure,
You counted strange, so once did
because it is perceived erroneously
I.
that the
Before I
power
knew
and
my
might
Savior,
can satisfy the
my
sordid hunger
Savior loves,
of
my
insatiable,
Savior lives,
lustful
my
appetite.
Savior is always
Contrariwise,
there for me.
if the value of life is
My
spiritually
Savior
derived,
was, my
then
Savior's
spiritual objective
always
for
gonna
godliness
be.
is
My
a reason to
Savior loves,
survive,
my Savior lives,
because
my Savior's
it is
always
perceived that
there
life
for
is
me.
from a
My
supreme
God,
being,
he was, my
a
God,
deity
he is,
supreme,
my God is
who created every
always
single
gonna be.
seen and unseen thing.
Yes, living, dying,
Nevertheless,
let me bring
desire for physical life or spiritual godliness
my strength, my
requires
soul
a
is
measure
from
of
this
behavior,
spring.
devotion, and service,
That
more or
he
less.
who lives will
So
be
then,
my king.
all behaviors and services always explicitly
died to
display
be my
life's
Savior,
presentation and choice of course
that
towards
he will
physical
leave his
or
place
spiritual
on
way.
high,
Apostle Paul urged, as he
and
wrote,
come for
a
sinful
somber
man to
directive.
die.
Here is a written quote.
You
Present
counted
your
strange,
bodies
so
as a
once
living
did
and
I.
holy sacrifice to God, which is an abstract
Before
thought
I knew
that is peculiarly
my
I.
Savior,
Sacrifice means to offer one's
my
life in
Savior
homage to a
loves,
deity.
my Savior lives,
But
my
what
Savior
is the
always
operation
there
of
for
godly
me.
sacrifice
My
in
God
social
he was,
reality?
my God he is, my
Deity
God
is a
is
lofty
always
concept
gonna be.
that is determined
My
by
Savior
subjectivity.
loves, my
It
Savior
is
lives,
coalescing
my
of
Savior's
intuitive thoughts
always
of
there for
reason,
me. My God
perceptivity.
he was, my God
However,
he is, my
the
God
fundamental
is
element of
always
thought
gonna
is
be.
truth
My
and
Savior
reality.
loves, my Savior
Truth
lives,
sustains,
my Savior's
endures,
always
and
there
builds
for
up
me.
in
My
contrast to
God he
fantasy.
was, my God is,
Therefore,
my
wisdom,
God is
knowledge,
always gonna
and
be
understanding
my
are
Savior
imperatives
loves, my
for
Savior
sound
lives,
reasoning of
my
facts
Savior's
of spiritual
always there
and
for me.
physical
My God
superlatives.
he was, my
I
God
thought
he
about
is,
my
my
struggles
God
against
is
evil
always
of an
gonna be
untoward
my
generation
Savior loves,
in the
my
United States,
Savior lives,
which
my
is losing
Savior's
sensibility.
always there for
It
me.
is a
My
slipping
God he
nation.
was, my God
Acceptable
he is,
service of
my
God is
God
being
is always
neglected by
gonna
the
be
people
my
who
Savior
have
loves,
been
my
coerced and
Savior lives,
blinded by
my
cunning, wicked
Savior's
evil.
always there for
Even
me.
now,
My
I
God he
ponder
was, my
and
God
lament
he is,
with
my
daily
God
grief
he is, my
because of
God
the
he is,
perverted wage
my
war
Savior
against
lives,
rational
my Savior
belief.
loves, my Savior lives,
And in their
my
war
Savior
against
loves,
Christ,
my
they
Savior lives,
sabotage my
my
every right.
Savior loves, my
But truth
Savior lives,
sustains,
my Savior
endures,
loves, my
and builds
Savior
up,
lives, my
which
Savior loves,
exposes their
my
evil in
Savior
plain
lives.
sight. Yet,
Jesus is all the
for you who are
world
naive
to me.
or blinded by
Life,
perversions
my
from
joy,
seeing true
my
light
all.
and the likeness
He
of
is
Christ,
my
and for
strength
Christ's sake,
from day
I
to
will
day.
try with all my
Without
might
him
to
I would
endure the
fall.
hardship of a
Yet I am
Christian who
sad,
is
to
enlisted
him I
in
go.
faithful service
No
to God.
other one can
So my
cheer
presentation
me
is
so.
a living
When I
sacrifice,
am sad,
holy
he makes me
and
glad.
acceptable,
He's
although you may think
my
I am
friend.
odd.
Jesus
Romans 12,
is all the
verses 1
world
through 3.
to me, and
Therefore I
true
urge you,
to him
brethren, by the
I'll
mercies
be.
of God, to
Oh,
present your
how
bodies
could
as a
I
living and holy
this friend
sacrifice,
deny
acceptable to God,
when he's
which is
so
your
true
spiritual
to
service
me?
of worship. Do
Follow
not be
him,
conformed to this
I
world,
know
but be
I'm right.
transformed by
He
renewing of
watches
your
over
mind,
me
so
day
that you may
and
prove
night.
what the will of God
Following
is,
him by
that
day and
which is
night.
good and acceptable and
He's
perfect.
my
For through the
friend.
grace given to me, I say to
Jesus is
everyone
all
among
the
you,
world
not
to
to
me.
think more
I
highly of
want
himself
no
than he
better
ought to
friend.
think, but
I
to
trust
think
him now.
so
I
as to
trust
have
him
sound
when
judgment,
life
as
fleeting
God has
days
allotted
shall
to
end.
each a measure of
Beautiful
faith.
life with such a friend. Beautiful life that has no end. Eternal life, eternal joy. He's my friend.